Hi, everyone. This is Marilyn Spirit Level Teed. As you may have heard, there was recent activity in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, where Davis Hicks, Zoom Truth is his channel name. He was cited for violations on the Boardwalk. Now, he was just practicing his free speech, and they drummed up some charges. The first time, before I was ever there, the first time a woman came up to him and said that she was with the business owners or something, and she said they needed a permit, that David needed a permit. Now, I'm not sure what group she was with. Maybe she was with the city. I don't really remember, and it's immaterial because free speech, you cannot be asked to get a permit, and that's on the third page to the right there, as you will see. I'm going to go through and read the email that I wrote to all the authorities I could find that might have anything to do with sending out the police or trying to inhibit our free speech on the Boardwalk. The second time I was there, and when I brought the instructional banners down there that all point to support of biblical texts and ancient texts, and support the flat earth in those writings, then they descended upon us. There were 5 policemen. 5. So there was no scuffle. There was nothing that made them come there. That we know of anyway. It was all peaceful before they got there and peaceful after they left. They were the ones that caused the disturbance. So what they said when I was there, and I think it was August 9th, they said that David was not allowed to videotape. But David even pointed out that, hey, turn around, Mr. Policeman, because there's a guy right there with his video camera, his telephone, videotaping you right now. And nothing was done to anyone else. And besides that, they're within 50 feet of, within sight distance. On the Boardwalk, there are 50 cameras. I mean, you can count them. And they're all taking our picture, and everyone knows that when you drive down the street, there's cameras at every traffic stop, every traffic light, and in every public place. So, and there's security cameras in every private business. So, videotaping on the Boardwalk, that is just crazy. So then he was given a citation for that, which he then burned, which I'm not saying right or wrong. He did what he felt was right thing to do. And you know what? By all rights, that's what should have been done, because it was crazy. It was just lunacy. Why do we have to be subject to being taken into the police station? Well, even the First Amendment preachers will tell you that they've gotten handcuffed and hauled in. And I have 2 women friends who protest in front of abortion clinics and, are standing for their free speech rights and preach God to the women who go in there to kill their babies. So they were even hauled off. My one friend spent 21 days in jail. And she's in her 70s. So they don't really care. They just do this for fun. And so I'm going to read you the email. I will get up close. The third page on the right is the list of cases, which I also included in the email. But after the 9th, then there was one more time when David went out there last week, I believe, and he was cited for having educational material. See, I guess they want to say that the Bible's not educational. It's just a religious book that nobody should believe anything in it. Well, we got news for them, don't we? So I'm going to get up close and then show you the email. And then I expect everyone to write down one line, send off an email to all these people, and copy David Hicks on this, because we need to all stand for our freedom of speech. We all need to protect our First Amendment right to free speech, because if we don't, we're going to lose it, and the dictators will all come into power when they get out this one world government. Oh, what a mistake that's going to be. So, okay, let me zoom in here on this. And you can see, you'll have to take a screenshot, I guess, if you want this much closer. But there's a list of all the emails that you should send. These are all the people who have anything to do with trying cases. Even the mayor, I mean, they have something to do with where the police go. Who sends out the police? Who gave the order to those policemen to go out there that day? That's what you have to look at too. Who gave that order? So that is the person responsible. You know, the policemen are just, you know, I don't want to say doing their job, because it is also their job to determine if it is an unlawful order. And they are not supposed to follow unlawful orders. Of course, they're going to get, you know, their job scrutinized, and they may be transferred. They may lose their job, but that's what we are supposed to all do. I mean, when you're put in a position of authority and power like that, you have to know what you're up to and what you're up against. So whoever sent those police out is really the one we're trying to get at. But I don't know if everyone remembers Michael New, when they wanted him to be under the United Nations Army, and he refused, and there was a whole lot of rigmarole years and years ago about that. So our younger generations are being brought up in the public schools. They're being indoctrinated to just submit to authority, and the government is God. Well, we know the government is not God. So let me read this real quick if I can. I'll get it up close for you so you can see it. I'm trying to keep still too. I just have this, I'm holding it. So there. To whom it may concern, I'm writing to inform you that our First Amendment rights are being violated in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, on the Boardwalk. A man, David Hicks, and it's important that you say a man, not a person, because a person is a corporational defined word. So a man is different. I am a man because I am a member of mankind. Okay, so that's how you have to think of that. David Hicks is having his free speech rights violated, which means all the people are having their free speech rights violated. If we don't protect everyone's rights, then we will lose our own. I strongly object to the ordered actions. See, I said ordered. Actions of the police on the Point Pleasant Boardwalk. Mr. Hicks has been on the boardwalks exercising his free speech for many months. On August 9th, the police objected to Mr. Hicks videotaping on the boardwalk and confirmed that everything else he and I were doing was allowed. This was the first time I had been to Point Pleasant. I pointed out the obvious fact that there must be 50 cameras within eyesight of our position, and that many people were video recording on the boardwalk without harassment, even standing right next to the police in clear view, even after being pointed out. Yes, we pointed that out. The following event on 8/17/18, the police recanted that what they previously allowed would not be allowed now, and had conjured up additional violations of supposed local ordinances, all of which are not applicable to anything he was doing. If there was a complaint, and we don't know that there was, if there was, then why were the police not honest to tell the people that they are being videotaped continually? Every business, traffic light, and every public space is being videotaped continually. Face recognition is a reality. In addition, the police said that we were creating a disturbance. The only disturbance existed when 5 officers descended on us, citing false ordinance violations. It was calm before they appeared and calm after they left. They orchestrated a scene on purpose. Why would they do that? We are peaceful. The police acted in a disturbing manner. Free speech is federally protected. Now, before I want to go on to the next page, I wanted to say something. I don't really remember exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, every business, traffic light, and every public, yes, face recognition, right. In addition to police that were creating disturbance, right. Citing false ordinance violations. You know, ordinances, regulations, and statutes are not law. The law of the land is the Constitution, period. And I hope I got into nullification. If I didn't, you must, oh yes, I did. There it is. Okay, hold on. I'll go to the next page. Okay. All we are doing has already been litigated. In the following page, you'll see that to the right here. And Mr. Hicks was under his rights to be on the boardwalk and display his banners and to videotape as many other people were videotaping in clear sight of the police without interruption. I am directly concerned that the subject that is being addressed by Mr. Hicks, although immaterial, because it doesn't matter what you're preaching about, what your free speech is about. But some people are allowed to go ahead and have their free speech. Even one woman in the crowd exercised her free speech back to us in saying that we were supposed to obey the police. That's her free speech right. See? But, okay, I'm directly concerned that the subject that is being addressed by Mr. Hicks, although immaterial, is really the true objection. Now, I hope you realize that I'm trying to get in here the flat earth. Do you realize that I just flat smacked and respectfully flat smacked 10 people on this point? And I hope they read it and I hope they watch the video, as you will see. The subject matter is not a consideration for First Amendment free speech. However, if you are condemning us for our subject matter without investigation of our subject matter, then you would be a dangerous dictator, and I would urge you to leave the office of a people yearning to be free. You know that phrase, yearning to be free, is on the Statue of Liberty. But that's the part they always leave out. I'll have you know, too. Whenever you hear that, you always hear the phrase before it saying, give us your tempest-tossed, your, huddled masses. But they don't say the last part, yearning to be free. When you are yearning to be free, you are exercising your rights. That's the part that you will always hear left out. Okay. Mr. Hicks is, back to the email. Mr. Hicks is challenging the people to defend the globe concept and prove there is curvature. If there is no curvature, then there is no globe. And then all of our children are being lied to in the schools. Lying to children is child abuse. I was lied to in the public schools as a child, just as you were. So I'm telling this to all these people I emailed. If you are not able to prove the globe exists, then you are responsible, along with many others, for lying to children. Isn't that true? The curvature formula based on a 24901 equator is 8 inches per mile squared equals the drop. In practical terms, this means we should not be able to see Chicago 60 miles across Lake Michigan. When standing in Ocean City, New Jersey, we should not be able to see the water towers, even the ground under those water towers, 20 miles south in Wildwood. These proofs and many others can be found in the video 200 Proofs, Earth is Not a Spinning Ball by Eric Dubay. Although I warn people that they will not understand everything unless they study some subjects like perspective with vanishing point. When I was on the boardwalk with Mr. Hicks on August 9, I displayed a banner with many of these proofs on them. I strongly suggest that you explain to yourself as why there is no curvature to be found anywhere. And when you look into this, you will see that NASA was founded with Walt Disney on the first board of directors. For many years, Hollywood and NASA have been used to direct our thoughts and sway public opinion. However, the people will not tolerate lies exposed. We demand truth. Okay, we demand truth from every politician. We therefore expect you to confirm the curvature of the globe. We also demand that you defend the right. See, now all these people, except for the ones that were appointed, all these council members were voted into office, right? Okay. So we also demand that you defend the right of Mr. Hicks to tell the people that they are being lied to by defending his protected rights to free speech under the First Amendment. I hope you realize that the federal Constitution is above any local ordinance, statute, or regulation, and that is true. The Constitution is law, and all else is not. Please study nullification. Nullification is a remedy in the courts for a jury to nullify any law deemed to be unconstitutional, therefore allowing the defendant to go free. And you may want to look at one of my other videos where I also addressed nullification and the rights of the jury that are not being told. I expect Mr. Hicks to be free from harassment in the future and even an apology to be issued in respect of the people's rights. Sincerely, Marilyn A. Teed. Now, we go on to these. I'm just going to quickly go over the highlighted here. Free speech and court rulings related to street preaching, which is what we're doing here. First Amendment rights is street preaching. You don't have to be talking about the Bible to be preaching. But we are, because everything we talk about supports what the Bible says. It supports the biblical text and other ancient texts. Okay? 1, open-air preaching is protected by the United States Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. You see, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So I could stand up there and give a sermon, and I should not be touched. Or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble. So if they say that we're, creating a disturbance by these people gathering to listen to us, they can't stop that. And to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That's our right to go to court. Now, I agree that government is a good thing. However, the people who occupy those offices are the problem. The people who occupy the offices are corrupt. And whenever found, they should be removed from office. Now, do we have to wait those years? Well, it seems as though there's a lot of obstructionists going on here. And some places have where if you sign a petition, you can have a special election and get rid of them that way. Then you don't have to wait the 2 years or whatever time limit to get rid of these creeps. So, number 2, we have the right to pass out literature, preach, and display signs on public areas. There's our banners, okay? Number 3, we have the right to exercise our religion and speak in all quintessential public forums. Okay? Quintessential public forums. That's a very interesting idea, okay? We are talking about the malls. The malls are now the public square. Okay? Number 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a guaranteed access to streets, parks, and other traditional public forum. And mere inconvenience to the government will not outweigh our free speech interests. Our number 5, our freedom of speech may not be prohibited merely because it offends some listeners. I was told at a local park here that I can't have anything that offends anybody. I said, well, what is on my banner that could possibly offend someone? And he took me over and he pointed to that our schools are teaching lies. Well, I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but I'm still going to say it. Okay. Number 6, a city may not consider the listener's reaction when permitting free speech activity. So if somebody gets upset that I'm saying the schools are lying, they cannot consider the listener's reaction. They cannot consider that as an offense. Number 7, hecklers do not have veto power over a speaker's right of free speech, but police must control a crowd rather than arrest the speaker in order to maintain order. So in other words, if somebody's heckling me, I can call the police and have them removed. Okay? Or at least have them be quiet. Number 8, we have the right to be loud enough to be heard. So there's something for the bullhorns, okay? If there's a lot of traffic noise, we have to be heard over that traffic noise. Number 9, we have the right to be protected by law enforcement if the crowd is offended by what we are preaching and becomes hostile. Yes, so they should be removed, not us. Number 10, permits are not allowed to be used to restrict a speaker's right of free expression, and permits may not be used as a prior restraint on free speech. Woo! Love that. A free speech lawsuit is a federal case and allows us to sue policemen and guards in their official capacity and as individuals. A free speech lawsuit is a federal case. Woohoo! So we go right to federal, which means we bypass all of the state courts. When there's free speech, I don't even know that David should be even going to this thing. But that's why he thought, well, maybe I should just burn this. Well, yeah. So a free speech lawsuit is a federal case. So why are they pulling him into this minor jurisdiction? And it is a minor jurisdiction. It's a local ordinance. Ordinances are not they are unlawful. This is not having anything to do with that. So we just have to go, and I'm going to go to this hearing, and I'm going to sit there and just be nice and polite. I don't even know if I will get to speak at all. But if they allow for any questions, I'm certainly going to pipe up, okay? Okay, number 12, a freedom of speech lawsuit will subject them to pay our damages and all our attorney fees. So, yes, this was even a personally responsible thing. They can be held personally liable for their actions. So everyone I emailed who had anything to do with sending those police out there, they are going to be held personally responsible. I am suggesting that everyone send an email to all the email addresses listed. There is no need to be as lengthy as I did. All you need to do is say, protect my First Amendment free speech rights. List this case number and David Hicks on the email. If David loses his rights, then we all lose our rights. There is no reason to not do this. Every conference attender needs to do this. And I'm going to say every conference planner and every conference speaker, all you people who are making videos, it's all very nice and all very good work. And I commend you for the good work that you put out there. But we are out there on the front lines. You know, you're not the generals sitting behind making the plans. And we're not out there on the front lines, putting ourselves in harm's way. Just so you can get, what? Views on videos? No. You have to stand up. And if you can't send an email, then shame on you. Shame. Shame. There's no reason to not do this. Every conference attender needs to do this. If you want my subscription to your channel, then you must do this. Okay? Copy David Hicks in the address bar so he knows you support our First Amendment rights. And this is important to him because he's going in there. He's going to be sitting in the hot seat. So what are you going to do? You going to say, David, I got your back? David, I support you? Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that? You can see by the videos he was not doing anything wrong. You can see that. It's all video recorded. Okay? So, I don't know. If you can't do this, I will be very, very disappointed in all of you. I really expect you to at least send an email saying, please protect my First Amendment rights. And I think this ought to go viral. I think we ought to all post this video, not for me, because I don't even have any monetization on my channel, or both of them, or this is not about me, because you know what? Very, very seldom do you see my face in my videos. I think that's a real sign of what's going on here. Very, very seldom do you see my face. If I'm in the car, yeah, do you want to watch the road in front of me, or do you want to watch me speak? You know, that's fine. I don't care. But please share this video, send it out, send it to everybody. And this is a free speech issue, especially people like that you know who are patriots. Send it to all the patriot groups that you know, because I'm in a couple of them. Send it to everybody that you can think of. Anybody. Everybody. It's all about all of us. All right. Have a great day, everyone. See you. Bye.